ever been told, stay in your place, that leadership wasn't for you because of who you are, because you're a woman, because you're different, because you don't fit their mold? Centuries ago, in the heart of Hausaland, one woman refused to stay silent. They said power was for King Ishakis, but she rode with warriors. They said courage had no crown, but she wore hers into battle. This is the story of Queen Amina of Zazzau, the woman who led armies before queens were even allowed to rule. And by the end of the story, you'll see why her fire still burns in every soul that refuses to be told you can't. In the 16th century, the Hausa kingdoms of West Africa thrived. Trade routes glittered with gold, salt, and wisdom. But each kingdom guarded its borders fiercely, especially Zazzau, known today as Zaria. There, a princess was born with the heart of a warrior. Amina, daughter of Queen Bakwa Turunku, grew up not in silk and music, but in strategy and steel. While others played with beads, Amina trained with spears. While others learned etiquette, she studied maps. Even as a child, she watched her mother lead and learned that power isn't given, it's taken with purpose. When her mother passed, Amina's brother Karama became king. But Amina was no ordinary princess. She led the cavalry in battles that defended Zazzau's honor. Her soldiers whispered, "She fights like 10 men." Her enemies learned, "She never retreats." The Hausa chronicles say Amina's blade moved like lightning. But her mind was sharper. She didn't fight for blood. She fought for borders, unity, and legacy. And when her brother died, the elders gathered, reluctant, nervous. Could a woman rule? Could she lead men into war? Then Amina walked in, armor gleaming, head high. She didn't ask. She declared, "I am not here to be queen. I am here to be conqueror." The council fell silent, and history shifted. Amina ruled not from a throne, but from the saddle of her horse. For 34 years, she led armies across the savannas, expanding Zazzau's borders farther than any ruler before her. She built walls around cities, Ganawar Amina, Amina's walls, that still stand as silent witnesses to her vision. Every victory wasn't just land, it was proof. Proof that leadership wears no gender. When people said she rides with men, Amina answered, "No, they ride with me." But behind the iron, there was still heart. Amina's battles were never for vanity. They were for freedom, to protect her people's trade, her daughter's dignity, and her nation's future. She knew that strength without purpose is noise, and courage without compassion is cruelty. In quiet nights after victory, she'd stand on her city walls and whisper to the wind, "If they remember me, let it be for how I made them unafraid." Power has a price, always. Allies turned to rivals. Battles grew heavier. Betrayals came from within. But Amina never bowed. When others sought comfort, she chose legacy. She once said, "I was born to make the world wider for those who will come after me." And that's exactly what she did. Even in her final battle, when defeat seemed near, witnesses said she smiled because she knew. Walls can crumble, but courage, true courage, outlives stone. Centuries have passed, but in the markets of Zaria, people still speak her name. Every woman who dares to dream, every man who dares to lead with integrity, carries a spark of Amina. She didn't just build a kingdom, she built a mindset. That leadership is earned by those who act when others hesitate. Her story reminds us, you don't have to fit the world's idea of power. You define it by how you rise, how you lead, and how you refuse to kneel. Today our battlefields have changed. We fight not with spears, but with courage, ideas, and perseverance. The world still tells us, you can't. You're too young. You're not enough. But Amina's spirit whispers back, prove them wrong. Maybe your kingdom is your business. Maybe your army is your team, your family, your vision. Whatever it is, lead it. Because no one will hand you your crown. You have to claim it. Amina's name echoes through time, not just as a queen, but as a symbol of what's possible when belief overpowers doubt. Her story is not about gender. It's about greatness. And her message is the same for every generation. Power doesn't ask for permission. It commands through purpose. Because your strength, just like Amina's, was never meant to be hidden. It was meant to lead. So rise, speak, build. The world doesn't need quiet greatness. It needs brave ones like you, who dare to be unstoppable. Subscribe to Ubuntu Inspiration, where Africa's untold legends awaken the leader within you. Because Amina's courage didn't die in history, it lives in you.